Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bella and today we're going to be doing another makeup video, except today's going to be my routine for the holidays. I'm going to show you guys how I've started to kind of like lighten my foundation routine and not apply as much product. And I'm also going to get into some skincare, which I'm actually so excited to talk to you guys about because I've been trying out this new product which is called the Redwood Spa. I'm so excited to show you guys this product because it's actually really improved my skin, and there's a bunch of different uses for this product. The Redwood Spa uses ultrasonic diffusion and magnetic misting to ultimately further pushing your products into your skin. That way you're getting maximum absorption and maximum use out of your products. This is quite literally the future of beauty in the palm of my hand, and it's going to change the way we apply our skincare products from now on, I guarantee it, because it literally makes having a spa grade skincare treatment at home so easy. And I'm going to show you guys how I use my products. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I use this little device, then please keep on watching. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to start by explaining this little thing to you and how this works to make your skincare better, because you're probably wondering, you know, what's the difference between using this and just like applying a regular moisturizer. So I'm going to explain it to you. This little device here breaks down the active ingredients in the skin pods into way smaller particles to overall get you a better coverage when applying your product. That way you're not missing any spots, and it's actually absorbed way deeper in the skin, which helps the product do what they're supposed to do a lot better, meaning you're going to have a lot better results with your skincare. And it's all possible because of the enhanced delivery technology that combines ultrasonic diffusion and magnetic misting. So one of the most important parts of using your skincare system is actually putting the pod in there correctly, because it can be confusing. So first things first, you just want to pop the little pod in there, and you're going to twist it until you hear a really, like, not loud but very distinctive click. And it just happened, and that's how you know your pod's in there. And you want to make sure you put that in there right, because if you don't, it's not going to work and you're not going to be getting use out of your product. So the first pod out of 3 pods that I'm going to be using is the Pearl Diffusion Skin Pod. The Pearl Diffusion Skin Pod contains niacinamide, which ultimately helps your skin retain the moisture that it is receiving. That way you're not drying out sooner than you should be, and you're not overproducing oils, which is really great for pre-makeup application. Niacinamide is also very useful to reduce dark spots and hyperpigmentation, which is something that I obviously struggle with my acne scarring here. So you're supposed to keep this thing about 3 centimeters from your face, and you're supposed to mist it for about 15 seconds. So I'm going to count to 15 and go ahead and show you guys how I use it. Before I go ahead and start my skincare, I'm going to throw on a little headband. Alright, now we are all ready to apply the product. It just helps to make sure that my hair is not in my face getting all the product inside of my skin. So you're just going to press the button and keep it about 3 centimeters from your face and count to 15. Alright, now that we are done with the Pearl Diffusion Skin Pod, I'm going to go ahead and use a Clear Dew Skin Pod, and I actually have a new one here for you guys so I can demonstrate how to open these up and put them in your device. So obviously you're going to take it out of the box, nothing new here, and this has the name of the pod that you're using, and you just want to go ahead and take this off before you put it into your mister. And here is the little pod. You're going to leave this little seal on it, and of course you're going to twist out your previous pod and just set that aside for later use, and pop in your new pod and hear the click. And let's zoom you guys in just a little. Now, the Clear Dew Skin Pod is not part of the standard set of pods, but it is available for purchase on the Redwood website, and this is mostly for reducing blemishes and redness and irritation in the skin from acne or anything like that. Additionally, it reduces redness, dark spots, and the possibility of new breakouts. So this is something that I like to use regularly, and it's really been helping to minimize the amount of breakouts I have. You can see I kind of had one here, and it helped clear it up very quickly, and I'm still working on clearing it up now, obviously. Just keep it really close to your face. Once those 15 seconds are up, you're gonna let that dry, and I know it's really tempting to like massage your skincare products in, but with this product you don't have to, so I'm just gonna let it dry. And while I'm doing that, we're gonna switch out the skin pod to the final skin pod, which is gonna help prepare me for the makeup that we're gonna be doing. And this is the Precision Shield Skin Pod, and go ahead and pop this in. Alright, so this Precision Shield Pod is something that everyone's gonna want in their skincare set. I know I do, because it's really helped to kind of keep my skin from getting irritated from things like sun, the AC, even like heaters in the car. Things like that just tend to dry out my skin really horribly, and this has been great to help lock in the moisture and to create that protective barrier, again, like I said, from all those nasty things that we have to deal with daily. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this last pod, the Precision pod, and I use this one last because, like I said, it puts that layer of protection on, so I want to make sure that's the last thing I apply. And it also leaves my face just like slightly tacky, which is the perfect base for makeup. Hydrated and tacky, of course. Alrighty, I'm all done with my Redwood skincare, and it took probably like a minute and a half to do everything, and I honestly really like doing this instead of like my normal skincare with pumps and creams and all of that stuff. And I really like using the Redwood Spa because it kind of just gives me that sense of getting like a facial, but while in the comfort of my own home. I'm a super big homebody, and so to have luxury care within access is super nice, and I really love this thing. All right, so as you can see, I'm looking very dewy, feeling very refreshed, and now we're ready for the makeup, which I'm super excited. Alrighty, now that the skincare is all finished, we're gonna go ahead and start with priming the skin. And my favorite primer to this day is the Urban Decay All Nighter Primer, and I'm almost out of this thing. But this thing is great for all seasons because as an oily skin girl, I struggle with my makeup staying on, and this is just really tacky, and it helps to create that really nice heavy base for my makeup, which it really does ensure that it doesn't budge. So I'm gonna use this and do like a pump and a half, and I normally focus this like in my T-zone since that's where I get the most oily. Zoom you guys in just a tad. Next step is gonna be filling the eyebrows, and I'm just gonna do like a really light fill-in right now. Sometimes I do my brows before my foundation, sometimes I do them after. It honestly just depends on what I'm feeling like that day. And for the brows, I just do like a quick little brush on the underside here, and the concealer is still gonna really help to define them, so I'm not filling them in too much because then they look really dark when I conceal them. Sorry, just get a little bit of the powder, just throw that beach on there, and I have a bold spot right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, brows filled in, and I'm gonna take my Ride or Die concealer, which is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm in the shade Almond as always. So usually I'll just get like a rough shape of what I want, and then I go in and define it even more. All right, most important part is done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and quickly conceal the tops just to finish them off, and I make sure that when I'm blending the concealer, I bring it up high enough to the point where I don't have to get my foundation brush or whatever, my applicator, close to it and mess them up, and then that way there's just that coverage there. Now I'm gonna take the same concealer actually and go ahead and spot conceal. I have that spot there on my cheek. I'm gonna go ahead and conceal that, and then this little cluster here on my mouth, get into the little dark spots right there on my nose, basically wherever I need it. And I'm gonna take a very dense foundation brush, and I found that this works the best for me, so I'm gonna take this brush and a little bit of foundation on it. Now I like to use the Kat Von D Good Apple foundation just because this is like almost a perfect match to my true facial color. It wouldn't work for a full face, it would like make my face lighter than my body. So I'm gonna take some of my NARS foundation, Sheer Glow foundation in the shade, I cannot speak, Stromboli. And so I'm just gonna do the same thing like usual, only I'm gonna just add like a tiny bit of this to my brush first, and hopefully that'll kind of like neutralize the lightness of the Kat Von D foundation. So I've got my foundation on my brush, I got my concealer here, and what I'm gonna do is essentially just blend over it. It's gonna work fabulous. And before I get too much product on this side, I like to kind of distribute it out and just blend around. I stick with like the very short pat and swipe, and this seems to be the best method for me in terms of like not leaving strokes. So blend this out really quick. Make sure I get all the edges. And to finish like the face of foundation, I just take the Kat Von D and finish that application. And for those wondering, I'm in the shade Medium 027. I'm gonna use the same concealer that I just used to conceal my brows and my blemishes, and I'm not gonna put a whole lot, and highlight like I normally would, just on top of it to give me the extra brightness I need since my face is a little lighter right now. I'm gonna put some of this e.l.f. concealer in the shade Fair Warm. Does the perfect trick. You just put a little pop on the inner corner and it blends out amazing. And then the under eyes, of course. I always like a really bright under eye, so regardless of how much makeup I'm wearing, unless it's no makeup, then I'm gonna have a bright under eye, and it just really brings the whole face together, I think. So yes. just bring the rest of what's on my sponge onto my lid. And the reason I don't put a like bunch of concealer on my lids is because I still want my face to have some natural dimension. So I'm gonna leave the lids just like slightly less covered up. So typically I'd use some Laura Mercier translucent powder, but honestly I'm running a little bit low, so a good alternative that I have is the Fit Me loose powder, and I use the lightest shade on my under eyes. It really doesn't matter what powder you use as long as it works for you. And on a separate sponge, because I don't like how they get crusty when you use one sponge for powder and concealer, I like to take a separate sponge and powder my under eyes. And I'm really heavy with the powder in the under eyes always. Doesn't matter the routine I'm doing, I just always am really heavy with it because I'm oily and I'll get oily right there. And with the nose, and I'm gonna go ahead and set the lids. So you guys are probably wondering, where the hell has this bitch been? You know, I've been meaning to post on YouTube and I feel really guilty that I haven't, but at the same time I know that taking like mental health time is a lot more important than posting YouTube videos, and I haven't really, you know, had all that much energy to come on here and explain or make videos to, you know, kind of front. But I've been extremely busy with school. I feel like it's kind of just been like a big shock, because transitioning from being a high school student living with their parent to a college student living completely on their own, dealing with financial means completely alone, it's just sometimes a little bit overwhelming. And so doing social media and getting ready is just like off the table for me. But you know, there are times where I do feel up to it, and today is one of those days, I guess. So next step is gonna be blush. We're gonna do some blush, and it's my favorite blush in the world. This is the Alamar Cosmetics blush. I like to take these first two shades here. This is Seclusion and Isla. And I always kind of do the same shade of blush for my face year round, just because, you know, once you find something that complements your face well, for me anyways, I stick to it. So I like to bring this blush kind of up here and up here instead of back here, because this kind of just widens the face, but if you apply it kind of further up, it will elevate it without having to use so many different products. And so just again going with a little short stamp and swipe and a little bit of the swirlies, and I'm like literally just going back and forth like this and really going in. And I like to take this brighter blush here and just put it kind of on the very tops of the cheekbones, and then of course I like to run it on the bottom of my nose and make it really rosy. Next we're gonna do bronzer, and I'm gonna take this Alamar Cosmetics Hydrating Complexion Trio, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the center shade Soltera and I'm gonna bronze with that one on like a more dense angled brush, and just get up here into kind of like this gap right here that isn't filled. Really lightly stamp underneath that and get up into this like hairline here. And when I do this routine in real life, it takes me like all about 15 to 20 minutes if I put lashes on or not. While that is baking, we're gonna go ahead and contour the nose. Again, a personal preference. If you don't like to contour your nose, don't. I am very insecure of my nose, so I will continue to contour it till the day that I need to cease. I'm gonna take a little fluffy brush and go in with the same bronzer shade that I use on my cheeks, and I start right here from the tip of my nose. I feel like I want to like update you guys about my life, but there's really nothing new. It's almost Christmas time. The semester is over, which is fucking crazy. I can't believe the first semester of freshman year is already gone. And you know, I picked my classes already. I'm gonna take anatomy and physiology already next semester, which is crazy. I'm really loading up here on the nose. I do always. Now, after the bronzer, we're gonna go ahead and do some fake freckles, which is honestly my favorite part of the holiday makeup. And they're really easy. You just take the little tip of your eyebrow brush, and I like to take the eyebrow powder that I use to do my eyebrows to do my freckles. And the more pressure you apply, the bigger the freckle is gonna be. And I kind of just like throw this thing around my face and see where it goes. I'm like wondering if you can see right now. Okay, maybe you can, maybe you can't. This is like ultra close. All right, so freckles are done. Now we're gonna move on to highlighting, of course. We're gonna do the nose highlight as always, and I go right over the freckles with this and highlight my inner corners as well. Take my middle finger and dab this kind of like on the highest point. I'm trying to make it like not huge. Next is gonna be some setting spray. First, I have to wipe this powder off my cheeks because I stay forgetting. I was about to put on my setting spray and forget. So the setting spray of choice today is gonna be the Rare Beauty setting spray, and this is the, doesn't have a name apparently. Maybe, oh, Always an Optimist 4-in-1 Mist. I like this because it leaves my face really dewy. So just take twist, mix it up. Kind of see the, oh, there you go. You can see the fake freckles. So here's what my makeup looks like up close, if you guys are really wondering. All my texture and its glory. This is what the breakouts are looking like, covered up with concealer. You can kind of see my scab here, this texture, the under eyes. Let's see the brows up close. All right, brows aren't too shabby. Now, if I even wear eyelashes or even put on mascara is really just dependent on the day, but I always do make sure that there's like no powder on my lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a good curl, of course. So curl the lashes, Avi. We're just gonna prep them for some falsies, and I'm gonna use the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara. I'm not gonna put on a shit ton because I'm putting on falsies. So I have a few options for eyelashes here. I think we're gonna go for a more natural glam. So these ones are definitely out of the question. I do have these ones from Araceli Beauty. Super beautiful pair of eyelashes. I do, in fact, love this company. So the bands on these eyelashes are very, very flexible. It's like nice and comfy. After we've done the eyelashes, we are gonna go ahead and do my favorite lip combo of life, which I know you guys always love to see my lip combos because they're just immaculate. No, I'm just kidding. But I do like nude a lot. So get my little lip pencil, sharpen it. This is the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Cafe or Cafe. But I'm gonna use this one, and then I'm also gonna use my NYX Lip Suede lipstick, matte lipstick, in the shade Dainty Days. And those two together are just my knee. All right, now we do a lip liner, and you don't have to fill in the center. If you don't, this will appear lighter on your lips, but I did anyway. The last step I would usually kind of add, but is really extra, and it's only if I'm going somewhere, are these little rhinestones. You buy these in a pack on Amazon, and I like to use the smallest sizes, like right on the inner corner of my eyes. So I'm gonna take one of these, and it's really, really simple. You just get some lash glue, make a tiny little dot where you want your gem to be. I like to do mine kind of like right there, and then I take a gem. The size of it honestly just like depends on the day, whatever I'm feeling like, and then you just place the little gem right here. I wore my makeup like this to the Tame Impala concert actually, so I swear you can't see the damn beads. Only thing now is to take the hair down and probably touch it up. Ooh, that feels so good. Change the lighting a little bit, hopefully that looks better. But I like to just bring two sections to the front, and if my hair is already curled, I just start from the top, but usually I start from the back. Get the curler and the twist from the top, that way you're not burning the ends of your hair. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do this to all of my hair. I'll be right back. Alrighty, hair is finished. It's almost perfect, but it's not quite. If you guys want a hair curling routine, I can do that, but I don't think it's anything special. It's what it looks like. This is what the makeup looks like. Alright everybody, well that's it for my video. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching me do my makeup. Hopefully I'm back on here more often, and I do plan to be. I really missed you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Like genuinely, I hope you enjoyed. If you guys have any questions about products or just anything in general, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!